Hey guys, Scripture here with another video, and now that the numbers have come in for the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary re-release, I found something interesting. I do want to say though, I put out my video just talking about my disappointment with how they didn't do anything different for this re-release. Even when you think of the 2010s, George redid all the sound when they did re-releases, or he would always add a deleted scene or do something, right? And so I was just disappointed. I was like, man, why didn't they? There's so much more with this film that they have. Apparently there's a 4-hour cut of this film. Whatever, they're saving it or whatever. So all I said was that this looks like a cash grab. It's not the 25th anniversary like the Phantom Menace, it's the 20th. And so I was just disappointed they didn't do more. People were mad at me and saying that's an L take. Why is it an L take to have higher expectations? Why do we always have to have the lowest expectations? Listen, if you enjoy going there and seeing it, cool, whatever, do your thing. But don't tell me that Disney did anything special because they re-released a movie at its 20th anniversary without doing anything different, without putting any extra work into it at all. If you look at it from just a simple equation, it was clearly a money grab. It was a money grab. Why didn't they put out the Phantom Menace at the 20th anniversary? Why? Right? Think about it. Do the math, right? The sequels were still coming out. They were still making a certain amount of money. So I'm just saying, from my perspective, thinking about how Disney rolls, they did this to get some money. And my whole thing too was, and again, this is going to make people mad, I'm sorry. Every single guy that went to watch this movie just gave Disney money to fund more crappy Star Wars. It's weird to me that so many guys that I respect and watch their YouTube channels and respect their opinions are tweeting about how great it is and I get it. You're taking your kids to the movie you saw and blah, blah, blah. And I get how you got sucked into funding more Disney Star Wars. I totally get it. It's very nostalgic. It was a very shrewd and smart move by Disney. But you guys are the same guys that have been criticizing Disney Star Wars and saying how crappy it is, and now you're giving them money. You're going and watching the movie, right? So if you think about it, that's kind of weird, and again, you were not able to overcome the nostalgia of going there with your kids over, your hatred of Disney Star Wars that you supposedly have. I get it. A lot of people are not in that boat. They just don't care. They're either, Disney Star Wars is whatever, or they like it or whatever. I get it. Listen, go to see your movie. But from my perspective, you can kind of see how there's some issues there. The other thing I noticed with this information about how much money this thing made is it made so much more money than the Phantom Menace 25th. So much more money. And in a much shorter period of time. It's funny how this is kind of an illustration of sort of the hindsight and the viewpoint of people and how they view the prequels. And I will say without a shadow of a doubt that Revenge of the Sith is really the only one that a whole lot of people really like. I don't see a Clone Wars anniversary coming out, right? So here's the numbers. So in one weekend, Revenge of the Sith did 42.2 million globally. In 3 weeks, The Phantom Menace did 14.5 million globally, as you can see here. That's in 3 weeks. This is in 1 week. Not even. This is just a weekend. So it's done almost 3 times as much in 1 weekend. So the assumption would be if it's out for 3 weeks, it's probably going to make somewhere around $50 to $60 billion, which would be 4 times what The Phantom Menace brought in. Does that mean there's 4 times more people that view this movie as good compared to The Phantom Menace? I would say probably. I would say that's probably true. So I just want to do this quick video and I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that's the case? Do you think that in reality of those 3 movies, really the only one that's really beloved is Revenge of the Sith? And do you think that Revenge of the Sith kind of saved the prequels in a lot of ways? I would argue it kind of did, but it's also a huge transformation, right? The style of movie in episode 1 compared to, and then episode 2, and then you compare that to episode 3, they did do an okay job of transitioning, because in Clone Wars, or Attack of the Clones, you do have Anakin and the scenes with the Sand People and with his mother and everything. They do gradually, but boy, oh boy, when you compare Phantom to Revenge, there's such a huge gap. And so I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on that? Is Revenge of the Sith sort of the film that saved the prequels, or do you just like all of them, whatever, you don't care? What do you think about going and supporting Disney monetarily by going to this film? And do you think it's a little bit kind of hypocritical for all these guys that criticize Disney Star Wars to have gone and done that? Even though I fully understand the temptation and all that, like I said. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this content, please like, subscribe. It always helps the channel. Feel free to check everything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.